Hello and welcome to Pitt Street Research. My name is Mark Kennis. I'm one of the co-founders, and today we're joined by Peter Lai, the CEO of Majestic Corporation. Good morning, Peter.
Hey, good morning, Mark. How are you doing?
Peter, tell us about Majestic Corporation. What is it that you do? And maybe at a high level as well, because you're not listed in Australia, right? You're listed in the UK. So tell us what you do and what your business model is like.
Yes, thanks, Mark. Majestic Corporation PLC is listed on the London Aquis exchange. Our company specializes in recycling of precious metals and non-ferrous metals such as copper, aluminium, and your IT electronics and electrical equipment. And also we collect precious metals from the teleconverters as well. We provide end-to-end recycling solutions, offering services that range from collection, processing, and selling the metals back to the refineries so they can produce the metals back to the supply chain. This is what we call a circular economy solution provider. This is what we call ourselves.
Right. And can you describe your typical customer? Because you've got basically, you have two, right? So you've got one where you get the materials from, and then one where they receive the sort of the refined materials.
No, we collect materials from either mainly from OEM customers, such as your telecom. I'll tell you which industry. How about that? The industries such as the telecom industry, the electrical industry, the IT industry. This is where we collect and source our material mainly, and also our customer base will be directly to mills and refineries around the world.
Looking at that process, that workflow, can you talk about your business model itself? So how do you guys make money, basically?
Basically, our business model has been divided into three main segments. We call it the precious metal refining segment, the PGM refining segment, and the non-ferrous metal recovery segment. Everything we do, we focus on the collection from the source and delivering to the end customers. Our precious metal refining is where we collect the e-waste, IT equipment, and deliver to our global location to be processed, separated, or segregated, then delivered to mills and refineries. The PGM refining, this is where we collect platinum group metals, PGM, platinum, palladium, and rhodium from teleconverters using our developed data application software. Once we collect it, we cut, we grind, and we test using our XRF machines, and then we deliver that to the end customer. And the non-ferrous metals recovery segment is where we collect, separate the material into aluminium, your base metals, your copper, stainless steels, brass, and then we sell that to mills directly.
Right. And so in terms of acquiring the materials, the raw materials, do you need to pay for that, or do companies pay you to take it off their hands?
Nowadays, we have to pay for everything. We have to probably put a RFP. The company put out an RFP, and we have to bid for it.
So you're active in different countries. So what's your key market right now? And looking out a couple of years, where do you see most of the growth coming from? Where's the biggest opportunity for you?
Our key customers are our refineries in Japan, Korea, and Southeast Asia. This will continue for years to come as we have long-term agreements in place. Especially now with resource nationalism becoming a key consideration for governments, where and how we collect and process will be vital for our company's future growth. UK is the location where we see the opportunity for significant expansion, with the new site operating since April this year. Sales grew nearly 200-300% to date. So with materials expansion, we talked about on our ESG report, we're expanding on new economy metals, which is battery metals, where we see the opportunity for our materials expansion for years to come. At present, we have a pilot plant to recover copper and graphene from anode in battery production, with a 95% recovery rate, and with capacity to handle close to 2,000 tonnes a month.
And so, yeah, there's plenty of opportunity in markets like this, especially with the battery metals.
Yes.
Looking at the competitive environment, because you're not alone doing this, right? Can you talk a little bit about what that looks like? So who else is out there doing the same thing? But also where you see the risks in the next couple of years, so the biggest risk coming from?
The current competitive environment is the global, our global sustainable circular economy initiative, is what I call it, which is also a tailwind for our industry. You're already seeing Ford, like the car manufacturers, Ford, GM, and Tesla investing in mines, steel mills, and recycling companies to be part of their supply chain. But whereas with opportunity, it's also a lot of risk as well, which the risk, pretty high level risk, which is government regulations, geopolitical tension, and Federal Reserve risk, which is all happening at the same time, such as government regulation risk is they can impose a 20-30% tariff at any time with immediate effect again within countries. Geopolitical tension risk, you have now Russia and Ukraine, where Russia controls 30% of the world's nickel and close to, I think, 20% or more of the world's palladium. And now also you have a Federal Reserve risk where interest rates just keep going up and up. And yeah, and 5% in such a short time is not heard of. So these are the risks that we're all in uncharted territories, I guess, Mark.
Yeah, sure. Look, I think the interest rate risk that applies to almost any sector, right? I think
Yes.
the risk you mentioned about sort of, geopolitical risk, yeah, the wars going on, especially Russia versus Ukraine there, the impact on metal prices, that must have a big impact on you guys.
Yes, it's huge. Last year, we talk about platinum group metals, which is your platinum, palladium, and your rhodium. We talk about palladium dropped from 3,300 to now under $1,000. So that all happened within 1 year. So very, 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 very difficult.
All right. So if we focus a little bit on the circular economy thematic, how does an investment in Majestic Corporation fit into an ESG sort of investment strategy?
I won't go too deep into it, but I'll give you the basic realm of the ESG, what we are doing, what we are, how we are trying to fit into the ESG portfolio. Example, I can say 99% of the material will end up in smelters and mills, and most of the mills and smelters we deal with uses induction furnaces, right? Which means induction furnace means they use the material is from recycled materials. 40% of our workforce are now women, and also we contribute back to our society by promoting recycling programs. And for your governance side, we have and work with partners that have accredited with the highest pedigrees, such as ISO certificates, permits, and what we call in our industry is a recycling industry is the R233 permits certificates. Also, that said, we have published our own our first ESG report, what we stating what we will achieve by 2025 and by 2030. A copy that's on our website. You can welcome to download that.
All right. And then looking at your listing, you're listed in the UK at the Aquis exchange, which is not a lot of people will have heard of that one. So in terms of choice of exchange, why did you list on that one and not say AIM if you're listed in the UK or maybe even the ASX?
Yes. The reason why we listed on the Aquis exchange was because our location expansion plan was in UK. We did a direct listing without raising any funds, so we get the main purpose of that was the credibility in the recycling market, which is evidence now with our success in the UK in such a short time. And also Aquis is one of the 2 recognized investment exchanges in the UK, especially designed for growth companies. So we thought once we have success in the recycling market, our next step is to start raising funds in the capital markets. So this way investors can see and can view what they have invested in.
All right, last question then, Peter. Talking about investors, what can they look forward to, say, in the next sort of 12 months in terms of milestones? What are you trying to accomplish in the next year or so?
In 2024, I think I believe we're ready to tap into the capital markets for funds, to look ways to raise awareness in the market. And then we plan to invest further in the UK recycling market to either grow organically with bigger facilities and possible M&A.
All right, so that's a lot to look forward to. So, Peter, thank you very much
you,
for your time. And yeah, we've published a report, so we invite everyone to go to the Pitt Street Research website and download the report on a Majestic Corporation for the full download on this story. Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.